Welcome to the 2400 Block Podcast with your hosts, Jonnyroobs and Ken.
Okay, remember? You can't get wild, son. I thought you were situated. So let me know if you get bored, but we can't get wild and start doing things like that because that's going to break.
All right, guys, just want to let you know we are on Facebook Live, and I don't know if you heard in the background, that is my friend Ken. He was just talking to his son. He is my my tag team partner for the 2400 Block. I've been teasing you guys with videos, and well, here he is now. How are you doing, Ken?
Man, how am I doing? It's not a how.
Uh-huh.
It's what am I doing? Why am I doing?
Okay.
How is very easy. I mean, because it's innate for me. The how, because I just move, intuitively and improbably. But, it's been raw, man. It's been a raw journey, and right now I'm in the homeless seat. Not with a home, homeless, but homelessness is not necessarily homeless to me. Just like the song, we know how it goes. Where I lay my head is home. Yeah. And then you're thinking, oh, I'm not homeless. So, I mean, we can, but I'm on the phone. So, get an ice cream? Yeah. But you promised me that I can talk?
Yes. But first, I want the card because that has the volume.
Perfect. But we're at big old butt. Can I talk? So I said promise. So you gotta promise me now. Deal? Yeah. Okay. So what can we put on that will keep your entertainment and your attention at bay, brother? Go ahead. But you can't ask me no more questions.
Okay.
For 30 minutes or something. Okay. Love you. But yeah, it's huh? I know. But yeah, I'm homeless, and it's by choice because when you've been through something that is just repetitive, well, it is hurt because hurt people hurt people. Then hurt started. There was something that when we discussed this, and I was like, traumatized by this and traumatized that. We use the word traumatized a lot, but traumatized starts first with hurt, and the hurt didn't start with with my spouse. It started with my first one,
Yeah.
And it didn't even start with her. It started in my childhood. I have childhood abuse, and I didn't, so many things that I tucked away, put it neatly away, and locked the door, put another door on top of that, and then thrown it into safe, and then put that safe in the water,
Yeah.
And then you forget about these things. But those things are like the belly seat of your emotional interactions with people, and so that started out with my first relationship. I'm Mr. Chivalrous dude, and I'm going to love with all my heart. All my heart. Oh yeah, no. Like Kevin, no. Just all my heart, no. And yeah, that's not how it works. Love is that strong, but it's strong. You also got to understand how love is working for yourself, and they don't talk about self. Self is almost like a bad word. So long story short, that I needed to tap out because when you decide the end for yourself is right here, right now, in this freeway, and then your kids are the ones that save you, and your own willpower and hope, talks you out of it. Well, I'm a suicide survivor, so I could talk like this. It pissed me off. You mean to tell me my out right now is being blocked on by these humans, or this willpower, and what am I getting out of it? Let's be real. There's always a return on mental or any physical or monetary investment. And I felt like, all right, fine, fine. And I went to rehab and the mental hospital and whatnot. And I learned self-love. And once I really understood what it was versus the first time, because it was my second official time, you know, with that S word, trigger alert, for those in recovery like me, trigger alert, because there's those who would, hear something and it does trigger some really quick, fast emotions back to that scene or whatever. But trigger alert, yeah, it's the S is suicide is something very, 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 very real. And the way people look at it, they get scared and want to help you and hug you and then go back to their nest. But you're looking at it like, I'll be real. I'm a very connected being in the universe, and to me, I'm looking at this vessel like, woo, man, humans are real pieces of shit. Like I'm a piece of this body is a piece of no, please, no, it doesn't. Please, you promised. You promised. No, you promised. Because I'm going to get you ice cream, but you gotta hold up, brother. It's called integrity. So I I understand what people and how they look at it, but the world really needs to start paying attention to each other and what a word means to the actual person versus what a suicide prevention department or suicide helpline. Let's start looking at the word and what it means to the person versus what the world looks at it as, because the world is trying to be this big old teddy bear that's not really hugging you. It's just the teddy bear. But anyways, I left because my triggers were, I was done with the triggers, and I left. And I learned a lot about myself in that leaving process, because when you leave, it was always you that was in charge of your happiness. Always. Anything, I believe that the only thing the universe requires you, God, add your divinity into that blank. Joy and happy. If those two things are not happening, then what do you need to do to get that? And yes, it sounds very black and white, and it's very hard, because I would say, obviously it's very hard. It took years and 3 different relationships, because I'm a people pleaser. I'm a very porous person, but I wanted to please people because that's what the world and the and the religious upbringing that I had was people help others and whatnot. But what they forgot to say is first master yourself. Yeah, that was a pretty very important part to the help others part. If you don't even know yourself, you can't even really help anybody. So we're blindly helping each other and then harming each other at the same time.
Hey, Ken, can I intervene for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I know you've went about it all these years, and I just want to say, man, what a warrior you are. You're very resilient. Even long before mental health awareness hit the mainstream, man, you took care of yourself well in the best way you could. And I just want to take the time right now to give you a virtual hug.
Man, I highly appreciate that. And when I'm a big time, advocate of, making sure things are in this place, so we scheduled and I mean, let's keep it real. Although this is what's happening in my life, I'm not going to be like, hey man, I can't make it because I'm homeless and I'm having I've had a homeless situation and a hard time, hard times and homelessness ago. To me, this is my norm. So I still want to uphold the only thing I feel I have left is my integrity and my word,
Yeah.
So when you were, you just said, dude, I'm just going to make sure you're good. And that simple gesture right now or today was like the magic, the words, the love, the care that I needed is like, yeah, my son, he's a beautiful energy, but he once his attention's off, he's off, and it's a wrap. And right now, he's doing everything I'm sure in his mind to to just keep it together. But it's taken a lot of hard times to figure that out and figure him out and figure myself out. And through him, I'm learning, man, she's, and my spouse, she's officially diagnosed with autism now. I learned a lot about our struggle. Our big, that song that you were playing is not, it's not a song really. It is a vocal outreach for understanding and here's a real picture of what is going on. It is the metaphorical versus the literal. I speak in metaphors. I'm a very artistic person when it comes to talking and everything like that. So
yes, you are.
Yeah, not that I'm bragging, but Van Gogh and Shakespeare.
You're the man.
So, but it wasn't working. And then here's the thing, and this is what I mean by. Can you get me the
I forgot. I was busy.
I know you was busy. You was busy, brother. How's about that Wakanda warrior? Can you unpack it for me? The one that I got for Christmas. I want to see it. I haven't seen it. Oh yeah.
Hey Ken. If you don't mind me, for the next, I believe it's going to be 5 or 6 minutes of this song that I'm going to play. It's you singing. I'm going to play it without any interruptions. So I'm going to have to put you on mute if I have to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Trust me, I haven't heard the song in a minute. To me, all my art and everything I do is just, something but music has really saved me in a big time way.
Okay, I'm going to go play it right now. Especially those who are watching on Facebook Live right now, I'm going to play Ken's track. It's called Breaking Boundaries. So I'll let you guys check it out with your ears. Feel free to comment, give it some likes, give it some, heart. Give it a heart. I can't even make a heart shape with my hands right now. I got like carpal tunnel. But here we go.
Even if even for the trolls out there, I know there's not probably none or many. It's okay, man. I'm built tough and I'm built strong, and your opinion matters because what it is it's a conversation. It's a real conversation of two people saying the same thing, understanding things differently, and still agreeing, but having World War III level fight to get to that one agreement. So yeah, listen with your heart and your soul. Be mean if you need to be. I don't mind. I'll tell you.
Hey Ken, I'm going to test this real quick. Let me know if you hear this, even though I put you on mute. Let me know if you hear this, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
What is that?
Do you hear someone talking?
Oh, is that clear?
Yes, it is. Wow. Okay, so you can hear it as I put you on mute. You can hear your own song. Okay. That's good.
One of my favorite persons in the world.
That's right. Shout out for Claire.
Hold it down.
She's our good friend, folks. In case you're wondering who Claire is, she is the one doing the voiceover for the 2400 Block podcast, and she's also our dear friend. So it's good to see.
Let me put it out there because this is gonna be my real book. Who the fuck is Kendrick Jackson? Guess what? Who the fuck is Claire? Get with it, people. She'll let you know.
All right, here we go, folks. Breaking boundaries, uninterrupted. It's Ken at the vocals. Here we go.
I can't wait no longer for you. You are breaking my boundaries. We were destined for ever. You captivated me internally, and our love was always meant to be a passionate bond. We've been through trials and tribulations, our minds connected instantly, and our crazy love is so ADD, no turning back. You are my soulmate, the purpose of two souls originate. I cannot lose you. This venomous love, no, I'm gonna break. If we continue, there go our boundaries, they're gonna break. I'm losing my mind now, so fucked up, addicted to heartbreak. This venomous love, no, I'm gonna break. There go our boundaries, they're gonna break. So fucked up, addicted to heartbreak. Here come the fire, let's levitate. 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 Oh, you see me all star-crossed lovers. I say we belong to one another. You see, we are constantly sailing through the sea of the galaxy for gold.
We live in a neurodiverse world. We're battling a literal metaphorical communication. This psychological warfare will be the fall of our mental welfare. Seems it's hard to understand one another. I'm autistic and need a predictable routine. You're ADHD to realize all your enormous dreams, but you're consistently inconsistent, allergic to routine. But we agree to agree, and seemingly we look back to the extreme.
In the end, I believe our crazy entanglement will be the perfect cosmic arrangement. Love to me is unconditionally. Our course, our course, our course, for sure. Oh, 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 oh.
That was good. My goodness, that was good.
Man, oh man.
Woo.
Today has
Powerful.
already been an overwhelming day. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean overwhelming, and this is going to sound weird, but when I was a kid, birthdays would come and I'd get all excited
Uh-huh.
and I'd throw up. Like, people get excited and they're like, oh my God, nah.
Uh-huh.
For me, I get overwhelmed. And, the funny thing about that song, as I was writing, this was only last year and I'm in rehab,
Yeah.
Shout out to Montana Behavioral Healthcare, not a plug or anything. It's just, the real first level of love I experienced as an adult
Mm-hmm.
at Montana Behavioral Healthcare. And I was at in Studio City in Mac Miller's old mansion.
Mac Miller.
I think, years
Mac
before
Miller.
he passed. Yeah, rest in peace, Mac Miller. Shout out to the Mac, man. What's really odd is he wouldn't have known this, but a person that was heavy into drugs and unfortunately died from an accidental overdose, his home becomes, and that wasn't the home he passed away in. It was the home the one home before that one.
Oh.
Because he had another home in Studio City,
Uh-huh.
but we were recording that song in his studio, the studio he used right by the pool, and his nails where his plaques were hung were still up there.
Oh.
Yeah, and if you Google that, it'll say Mac Miller and the Dope Family, the reality TV show that he had. It's funny. My son's wearing his a shirt that says "Wild" on it.
Oh, really?
Ooh, yeah, yeah. It's funny. I'm like, son, we're advertising. We don't need to advertise. But yeah, it was surreal hearing it because I was in a really place, and I learned recently that there was two sides of me, and one of them got locked away in in that safe that I said threw in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And it was my introvert. My introvert right now is embarrassed because I'm like, oh man, it wasn't perfect, and it was my song, "We're Sorry," but what can we do? No, but what can we do that can keep you? Okay, so CRS2, please, thanks. So I entered there just understanding that I wasn't feeling safe emotionally, for as a warrior. And, again, the introvert, and he's like, oh man, that's embarrassing. I can't believe we're on here talking about our song, it was our song, but yeah, it was surreal hearing it because I walked into that hospital on January 1st of 2023, just completely broken. And we're talking about a person that's been riding it out with my hands out, like that rat rod dude on the, like, it was like a symbol, for bikers, but it's it's for rat rods, and it's a rat on the motorcycle, just hand hanging out, and that's in my life.
Oh, hold on, Ken.
Whatever.
Give me 1 second here, Ken.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, hi, Susan, and hi, Archie, for watching this Facebook Live right now, talking to Ken. Thank you guys for checking it out. So, okay, back to you, Ken.
Hey, Susan and Archie, thank you for checking this out. I promise I won't bore you. I'm far from boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Claire?
Yeah, that's Claire's soundbite there. So.
That's funny. Oh my God, yeah, that'd be awesome if Claire was on this list. But yeah, I walked in there broken, man, and 30 years of keeping it pushing. Let's be honest. That's what our parents did. That's what we were taught. Keep it pushing, pull it by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
So let's be honest. It's a very toxic thing to keep pushing, and you don't even know yourself. You're just, But that is, whole countries go by this. Whole societies go by, hide, be seen, not heard, or just keep it in. And but what happens really is our world is run by people that can't even feel what they feel and be who they are. So they're just busy just acting out and never got heard at whatever age or, they are now. But I walked in there broken, and I walked out of there just knowing who I was. But I knew if I went back home, it was going to be bad. But when I wrote that song, it was a way for me to explain to people what is going on, and that's the only way I can explain it. And I'm writing it and going back and forth, and it was cool. It was my first song written, recorded.
How long did that took? How long you took to write that? How many days or how many hours did you come out with that song?
Honestly, no time.
Oh, really? It was all random?
Yeah, I wrote it. Every bit of it was happening, kind of improv. But when I write, I can write a whole song like in 5 minutes, or less.
Oh, wow.
But that song, it was written probably more like in 20 minutes because I needed to really first write it on paper and then really like take my time to really carefully, tell the story, because also I'm telling another human being that I love story in this.
Yeah.
And I couldn't really interact with her because I'm in rehab. Not necessarily because of her. I don't want to place that much blame, but because of my lack of understanding in her and myself, but the surely triggered by her and her actions. So I wanted to be able to tell a story that made sense. So if she'd ever listened to it, it wasn't going to be, oh, you did me wrong, and the songs that we hear every day. But I'm not that guy. I'm a very transparent guy. So after I finished recorded, I actually did let her hear it, and she really did sign off on it. And it was like, dang, that was a really good track. So I mean, it had a lot that went into it. So it probably took me like 2 minutes to write it, but it took me a little bit more time to get it on vocals, because this is the thing that people don't really understand about stories of people singing and all that stuff. I got complimented on my voice when I was at the psych ward before I went to the residential rehabilitation home, and the music therapist there was like, "Oh man, your voice is beautiful," and I was like, "I'm a grown ass man, beautiful." Thank you.
Was that done in a professional studio?
It was
no.
Okay, so Mac Miller, it was his house. I always rep it because his spirit. Mac Miller is a really, really gifted musician and artist and a poet first, but it was just in his studio, but the studio technically is our social worker's office now.
Oh wow.
So it it is dual used as like an open space. So if you go into the space, it's cool because it overlooks the Studio City Hills and all the other mansions and stuff. And it light comes in and it has like one of those shrink couches, and it's a really cool little spot to be. And when I wrote it, I literally, I'll be honest with you, I'm really connected to the universe, and I really felt Mac Miller's spirit.
I was about to say that. Very good.
Yeah, I really did. I channeled it, with self-care. I channeled his songs. I channeled all his energy.
Wow.
And on my TikTok, I really, I repped him because, it's, when people pass away, it's a really sad thing.
Yeah.
That people, unfortunately don't get all the truth. But Mac Miller was a lover of people, a lover of life, and a lover of music. And, drugs is just a part of the music scene in general. But, unfortunately, it's I don't want to say a sinker, but it's a clutch that happens when you're going through a lot of mental issues, and then it can grab you and take you down. And when you have all that money and power, and when I read about it, some guy, his plug basically, gave him some stuff that was just too much. And so he didn't really overdose himself, like, oh my God, like, like Elvis or, anything like that, and he was a really good dude, and, he doesn't get the flowers he deserves. So, flowers from Mac Miller, man. He really, he really challenged my spirit and was really there. Because I caught COVID there. Yeah. I didn't ever have COVID until I got there. So I got COVID, and I was in, I think there's like 6 rooms. There's 6 or 7 rooms in there.
Yeah.
And I was just in a top room overlooking a beautiful view, and I was able to really be with myself like I am right now. In my
thanks for that
state.
video.
Which one?
The one where you were in the mansion and you were just taking your camera with these wonderful views.
Yeah, I have so much footage that I haven't even. It's gonna be a lot of lost tapes.
Really? You have a lot of footage. Wow.
A lot of footage.
More than you've shown me.
Way more.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a documentary.
Documentarian.
Digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a documentarian. I love that. That's my new shit right now. I'm a documentarian. So just never mind you. Go about your business. So yeah, the song was written from a place where I couldn't really speak about it. So like I said, funny enough, I was going to say that, and I kind of jumped off. I'm finding out now through her autism and my son, because he mimics a lot of hers, that I have autism. So I'm not literal like she is. So it still has that literal but more physical, but turns out I have autism too. So the song is it was live happening. Everything about that song was live happening. I've known my spouse for 14 years, 5 years, us in a romantic spotlight. Just, oh my God, 2 best friends finally got together. And what was underlying and sneaky, and this is I really, want everybody to pay attention to, there was a neurological disconnect. It was never really a behavioral thing. Because everybody gets a divorce because of irreconcilable differences, and he did this and she did that and whatever. But no one's looking at very foundational underlying stuff like I do. And in our whole time, I was, again, I think in patterns. So I was putting pieces together, and, she had, diagnosed herself with BPD and everything. But the disconnect was that the things that I would have said any other day, well before we had a kid, was understood, but there was still, similar behaviors that were happening. But there, in autism, there's Asperger's, and there's 3 others that I can't really think off the top of my head. but it's no longer just Asperger's, it's ASD, and then there's, different sides of the spectrum. And when she, like, if I say, hey, and I throw a word like conundrum in there,
Yeah.
that's probably not a good one because conundrum, probably not a lot of you, but let's say conundrum. She understood it then or whatever, but the word gets shelved in her brain. So if I would say the word conundrum in text or, she is actually live trying to figure out not just what I'm saying, the word, and how to respond all at the same time. And then it comes out, now when it comes out, it don't come out, nice. It comes out as frustrated that she's not able to understand this, and then comes out and says, I'm not dumb. I didn't say dumb. I said conundrum,
Yeah.
And it's having to relearn how to speak to a person you've known for 14 years is another world of confusion, and if you're going to that every day, every conversation, I have text messages and that I were going to send in my notes stack where I couldn't send them, and eventually I went quiet because I got exhausted trying to figure out how to communicate to where I felt silence and even being able to talk about it, even in group and nowhere. So the song was just about being able to at least put out there the reality of ADHD and autism, not, a click song, blame it on my ADD, or Kendrick Lamar's version, or many other versions of it.
Yeah.
This is a real account of two people that are in love with, and have her and my son, a trifecta of overstimulation and sensory processing disorder going back and forth. And it was never, you ain't shit, you don't provide, and those are things I was hearing, you don't provide, but it wasn't that you don't provide the security because you're going from job to job. And although I understand, I have childhood trauma that says I need stability, and my stability is not being met, but all that can't be said in that statement. It is, you don't provide. And I am a provider's provider. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, Ken,
if
I'm just going to read this thing to you real quick. This is coming from some people here that are like just messaging in real time. I have a comment here from my friend Archie. He says, "Thank you for admitting your gift. God has blessed you with this gift."
Thank you. Archie?
Yep. Archie from Tampa.
Archie from Tampa, Florida. Actually, man, it's who I am. I'm just getting a chance to finally realize it myself. So thank you very much. I'm really blessed to be able to, have real people saying things that mean a lot, so thank you very much.
And then I have one from Zoe. She gives like a heart-shaped love symbol with your finger. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Zoe. Yeah, emojis are my thing. I'm a big time communicator, so emojis. Hey, a middle finger. I'll take anything,
And going back to that track you just made a few months ago, man, as we were just talking about this right before this live broadcast here, I was saying like, wow, I have all these photos that you've given me in which you're wearing a mask. I'm like, why not release a single and use that as a cover?
Man, that mask, man. One thing about, man, we've been friends for a long time.
Yes,
nobody
we have.
Needs to know.
Uh-huh.
Nobody needs to know. But hey, but you really know how to hit the right buttons to get me to say something. So that mask, man, we have art therapy. We had art therapy every Tuesday, and I'm a very passionate person. So if you ask me to do something, whatever it is, I'm putting everything and then some and more into it. So we're making masks, and in my mind, this is mine. So I'm not going to just make art therapy just for, the release of some tension. No, I'm making I'm making, so I'm doing research looking for what I want it to look like. And so when I painted that mask, that is all hand painted. I painted it, and I took inspiration from, a piece that I looked up and just hand painted it. And just went just raw. Like I said, I'm an improv guy. So that mask represented my dark side and my light side. My introvert side and my extrovert side. And those are my things. But although it's a dark thing, darkness, there is no light without darkness. There's no darkness without light. So that mask and that hoodie that that you probably don't have up there just represents real emotional presentation, and when you said that, I was like, I can actually use that mask to present.
This is a cool game.
I know, but
I will only not talk to you if you get me this game.
Oh, well, that's not a negotiation, because remember we negotiated ice cream. So you still have to wait for me. Thank you, sir. Remember CSR2? Okay, can you play that for me? I want to win some races.
Favorite game? No.
I know, but you have 1,000 a million favorite games. So let me finish, okay?
I know. We give this game and then we can get ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So play a few more minutes, and then I'll be with you, okay?
Okay.
Love you.
I'll play the FIFA and we'll get this game, okay?
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that patience. You did it with your patience.
Yeah.
So that mask represents, right now, it's like live, man. Me going from the darkness of not understanding my son, who is every bit of me, but a brand new version. And I'm like, this dude don't know that I'm from Compton, Long Beach, and Linwood. But you have to take a whole another complete approach from warrior mode, street mode or any mode, and start digging within yourself so you can understand a human that is a copy of you with his own twist on me and more, in a whole lineage of me from my mom, and so on and so forth. So I've learned a lot, and that mask represents a lot, man. The darkness of trying to understand, the soul at the bottom represents, different tryings and dead knees trying to figure it out, and reaching over to the light side. That's why the head's reaching over to the light side, like, I need that light, man. And it's live today was one of the most powerful universe days. We're doing a live. We're playing a song I haven't heard in a year. We're talking real, man. And today, I was going through it, but I was going through it in a very positive way. My VA benefits are gonna pop off. Just so many positive things that I stay positive in, but are coming to fruition. So, that mask represents a lot.
Yeah, let's hope that trend continues.
Yeah, absolutely. You said Trent?
Trend.
Oh, Trent.
Upward
my
trend.
friend Trent.
Yeah, upward
Yeah, my
trend.
friend's name is Trent too, and he's a part of my mental health journey too.
I see.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah.
Hey, you're looking forward to this podcast coming soon, while we're going to be interviewing all these different personalities. You ready for it? Since you already did with Claire.
Born ready, bro. I was born for the spotlight. I'm a light being, bro. Yeah. Shout out to my girl Claire. But I'm more than ready, man.
Yeah.
I've always, I'll say this, and I'll be honest with it. People suck big time. But people suck because people don't know who they are, and they're walking around, I'm also in a drone-like state, going to work, going to school, going things, doing what the parents say, do what your boss say, do what this. Fuck all that. Who are you, and what do you like? Yeah, and I'm saying that. My son's right here. because that's real. You know, the world is a real place, but you don't get to be who you are. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
And we got to stop this. We got to stop, you know, honestly bastardizing people around us and start. There's so many awesome stories, so many things I've done this week. I mean, you would think, oh, this guy's homeless and all of that. Yeah, I got judged by the nurses in the ER but in my walks, man, I've met Vietnam vets. I met another homeless person who gave me her meal and prayed for me. I mean, the riches of that far outweigh Trump level money or any kind of money that exists. All that is fleeting, and that person and whoever it is that's rich as all hell, there's a lot of people in your wake that you don't know that don't like you, and that can make all that money disappear.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't stay humble and really nurture the people you're around, yeah, your world can change, and you can be just in that position. You're like a hot, quick breath away from that position, because a lot of people that, you know, and this is just me speaking candidly, but, you know, not with facts and research, but from what I've understood, you know, in my walk, is there's a humble people that get rich, and, you know, there's the people that are, you know, not so humble and get rich, but the tie is people. You know, the people that you have is what makes you rich, not the money. It's the brains behind the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So if a brain's not happy, your money's not happy, and you don't know it. So, you know, I'm just grateful to be in a position where, you know, I have, you know, friends that stuck by me all this time and understood that I'm just a private person, but wild person. And I'm looking forward to speaking to people that share it, because I have felt alone big time. I mean, this has been a very, 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 very difficult and trying time, but here I am with my son having fun, and he's not traumatized. Nope, he's not abused, and these are stories that, you know, especially in autism, these are stories where they end up on 2020 because someone didn't understand. They got pushed over the edge, and, you know, I think it was there was a murder. I can't think of it, but it was a murder that specifically had, you know, I think it had to do with autism, that did end it tragically. It's a 2020 story, but I was built different, man. I was built as a nurturer. I was built with mother instincts. I was built with warrior instincts. I was built with, you know, deep thinking instincts. I was built different to be able to withstand this. Thank you, universe. I didn't really want it, but hey, you know.
Hey, Ken, were you referring to the elementary school killing? Was that the one?
No,
No?
there was it was I was gonna say Macy something. It was a father that ended up murdering his daughter, and she was found in a bag or something like that. I can't think right now for the life of me, but it's from like that 90s or something like that.
Oh.
It's a very old, and I'll bring it up probably in a podcast down the line. But my point is that it could have, you know, there was. I'm asking for help, and Child Protective Services come. Yeah. I'm asking for help, and police come. You know, the more you ask for help, the worse things get. You know, and I'm still here with a son that's eager to be with his dad, and eager even with this, you know, this vision of our family, because love exists, and love has always existed. Yeah. You know, and we will get through it. And it is tough. And it was tough to leave. It was very tough, but it was always up to me to be happy. So, you know, it's grateful to be able to talk about it, you know, live while it's happening, right? In the homeless seat of the Holiday Express Inn over here in Loma Linda.
Hey, Ken, I have a question for you from Archie. This is actually a live question here. He asked, has it ever happened that you try to be the best version of yourself only to find out you aren't valid enough to those people you try to impress?
Oh, more than you would ever know, Archie. that is exactly what's been.
Let me teach you to do. I want to get ice cream first, then get the game.
But I'm not ready yet. I'm almost done. Thank you. So I have spent a lifetime. This is my third, solid relationship, really first love relationship. And I started to believe that Superman level, superhero level, superhuman level, being there for your family was standard. Superman was standard. Omnipotent level miracle was the benchmarker for me. So that will give you an idea of how deep I reach. And I if my spouse or my family is not feeling it, then I got to change how I'm viewing this. I come from pull up from the bootstraps and do your thing military, and that's not going to work if it's not working. And what you're doing is you're literally tearing another soul down with not being able to roll with a person's wants and desires and their autonomy and who they are. So yeah, it's a tough, and it didn't work like I thought, and here we are in a hotel. So, but because I decided to do that, we still have a very amicable, very salvageable, very solid relationship that we can build as co-parents. But it was up to me to realize it was never my qualification to save. And I call it this because it's just my funny way of saying it, be Captain Save-A-Ho. I mean, there's just missions you're not equipped for, and I wasn't never equipped. No one really is. They just think they can be based on their strength, but it does take, the same information and application that you would do if you're going to college or school. Study it, understand it, master it, implement it. Or implement it, and then as you implement it, you got some wrongs and rights, and you start figuring out implement it. But I kept seeing the pattern, but I wanted. It's Nestle Quick, but I want to give it to you. Can I give it to you? But can you give me like the rest of my time?
What is it? Is it a shake?
It's frozen Nesquik.
Is it a shake?
Yes, it's delicious. You'll love it. So I couldn't, I couldn't really devote my, what I thought was my whole self because I wasn't being received that way. So if you're not even being received, you're not even literally saying, how even do you see me? That if you're not even getting those basic questions asked, no one's really going to ask it because they're just assuming I've done this, I've been nice, but you're not seeing their perspective, then you'll never get that language. You're not a provider, but you're not a provider of my trauma. You're not a provider, all those deep iceberg things up under the water that you don't see are what's really stopping you from being that. So a long version, Archie, but really take time to understand your loved one or, siblings or whatever, so you can really be the superhero, which is, first loving yourself, but then understanding them and their needs. Hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can't wait to hear his reaction after that. I'm going to bring something up to you that's been in the press for the whole week. And this guy, Colin Cowherd, I don't know if you know him from Fox Sports. He's like the guy that's always on the mic. He dug into those complaining about Taylor Swift's recent presence over there and in these football games, and he calls the criticism from these guys, he calls them weird, lonely, insecure men when referencing the billionaire superstar herself. They all eating on her. But I don't know what that, what your perception is when he mentions like weird, lonely, insecure men. Do you think that's like a backlash on men in general, or you think he's right? What is your take?
Man, I didn't hear the whole thing because I'm in parent mode, but
okay.
But what I'm understanding is the weird, lonely, insecure part.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bash, and here this is just my take, and this is nothing on the Me Too movement or women in general. But I felt there's been this upsurge that's almost getting kind of revenge for women since the beginning of, and I am on the same team, trust me, because I don't condone it. But when we get to the imbalance of men bashing, because I've been presented by my spouse with, weaponized incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
And weaponized incompetence, if you're not, familiar with it, people, is when you know what to do, but you're relying on your wife to do it because she do it, and then you just kind of put all that responsibility on her. But in order to present something to someone, you have to really, really, really be careful, because I am well not that, but you're in this realm of bashing and getting influenced, but you're not looking at your spouse. You're just looking at a general line and men and then in your upsetness, you're like just grabbing on to that energy. And what's happening is you're killing your relationship by not saying, wait, is this him? Or you're not even taking any time to analyze. And I've seen it, in her energy, and it's really unfortunate because I'm a very, very different guy. I was born with mother instinct.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very rare thing. I'm not saying it's super rare, but, I was born, I was raised by my mother, a very loving, very unconditional. That's where my love comes from. So ladies, take the time to really be studying before you say something, because it needs to be directed to people that really fit the bill so we can eradicate imbalance. But when you become imbalanced because of an emotional, discord or whatever, now you're part of the problem. So to answer your question, it's a real bash, and it's probably a truth, depending on really taking the time to look at the person individually. So I'm really more of a neutral energy when it comes to like name calling and women hating or hating, because I believe in monism, and monism is a word that represents oneness. The real way to evolve anything is working together. If you want your machine, your car to work, all parts have to work to get you down the road. So if your radiator is missing, guess what? Because you hate your radiator, well, guess what? Your car is only going to run a mile because it'll overheat and blow the whole engine. Not the tires, the engine, the main thing.
Yeah. You know what my take of this situation is? We were all brought up with things that we like, things that we don't like. We have preferences. We have options. That's what I think. I mean, if guys hate Taylor Swift, let them hate Taylor Swift. We can't force ourselves to like Taylor Swift. And these football fans are probably not fans of music in general, or maybe they're just not fans of her music. So everyone's got their own choices. That's what I think.
Yes.
I don't believe in this. I don't believe in this, calling out the men, calling them insecure, calling them weird, calling them lonely. That just makes it even worse.
You hit the point exactly. So what I will say, being black and, being from a culture that's disenfranchised by another culture, I will let anyone roar, scream, talk shit, do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, what side are you on in that? Because you can scream and you can roar, because women have been treated like animals.
Yeah.
Didn't have a voice, couldn't vote in a black man could vote over women as a whole. It's the most demeaning. I'm angry right now because I was raised by my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Every person in this whole world came through a woman.
Yep.
If you don't know it, people, the earth is a female energy. It births, it dies, and it's a female energy.
Yeah.
So men were put, according to whatever spiritual or, perspective you understand it from, were put to lead or whatever. But here's the thing that really people don't really think about. The human species in general is like toddlers in the grand scheme of things. We're all toddlers. So how are you gonna follow a man who didn't even really get taught but by the person ahead of him? And then the person ahead of him didn't never get anything. He had to figure it out. So if you think about it, everybody and everything we learn is from a person like, I'll say in my case, I've taught myself all I know, and that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a father figure, a healthy one. So I raised myself, and I really didn't have the kind of childhood I wanted, but I had my mom and I had love. And to me, that's all I needed, my mom loving me. But you're bashing a man who didn't even get taught anything. And if he thinks he's a leader, he's getting led by the books and everything from men and in this world, there are men who did lead a righteous, balanced life, and those are the men, but not all men are learning from that. They're learning from a financial leader.
Yeah.
And money is not nurturing. Money is a fiat currency that's not even backed by gold. It's not backed by anything. It's backed by what we say it is. So the leaders that we have in this world, think about them. Take the time to research them. Then you'll understand who your targets are.
Yeah.
But we don't want to target anybody because that's what? The same hate. What we're doing is we want to educate.
Right.
Be there. Even if you are the op, that's fine. Again, this is a female earth. Your energy is going to be recycled and die and come back. And I'm sorry, I'm a real person. That's the truth. People will get dealt with by how they live their lives. And that is how it's going to happen. So let the universe handle it. You have very little power over anybody, let alone yourself, men or women. So stay in your pocket, stay with what you know, and love the ones you love, because that is your circle of influence that's going to keep you healthy and alive. But if you're going around trolling or doing something that you think you know, the key word is think you know. If you don't know, you just don't know. Don't have the ego that can, either, put you in a bad position or just, look like a shit face. And hell, I'm the type of person I'd be like, yeah, shit face. Hey, let's wipe that up. Let's hug and let's go have some fun. Let's talk about this. This is funny. This is really, comedy at best. But, what we're really supposed to be doing is bonding together, because if you want to evolve and go further, we bond as as a family, we bond as a city, we bond as a state, we bond as a country, then we bond as a world. And then, like a car, you're in harmony. Boom. Now we can evolve. So why is it that we had COVID, but everybody has different treatments and different countries are doing different things, same human beings?
Yeah. By the way, Archie commented, he says, the biggest superpower we all have is love.
Man, brother, mic drop. That's the end of it right there. There's nothing else to say. But everybody understands love that way. But because you do, Poppy, you're breaking that. You're breaking it. That's my Christmas gift. It's my toy. Thank you. But I really want this. I don't want it broken.
No, I was.
But you, yeah, I know. So yeah, it's a mic dropper because love is the universe. Love is everything. But how we understand it I can break it down for you. We got eros love, the love that comes from a relationship. So I'm sorry, I have to, toggle. I told you it's gonna be raw.
It's okay, man.
So love is exactly what it is. It's a 4 letters. It's simple, just like the word help.
Right.
But everybody understands it differently. And today I said the word I love you, and I understood I love you as love. You have to work up to it, or it's your family members and all that stuff. But I'll give a super shout out to a friend and that's been there for me and this thing, and her name is Allison, and I couldn't even begin to even muster up words to describe a heart to help another person who's experienced traumatic event. That simple little scoop to help a warrior that's already self-sustained, just nurse them back to health. And my God, we've become amazing best friends because of it. And, most people go, well, you guys must be. Yeah. I am a playboy. I'm a very flirtatious person, but there's nothing of that kind happening. I learned love from my mom, and I'm getting it back from another person who's experienced major trials and tribulations of, domestic violence. But I'm not going to, put her business out there. But the love part is what I'm talking about. And I had to take a seat back from Playboy and, coming out this already traumatic experience. And I have this person helping me in this confusion of person saying, I love you. And I was like, okay, I was like, freaked out. Like, yo, you said the L word. Like, yo, that's crazy. It's a word, and it's a word that actually makes people feel good. And guess what? I learned how to say it without reservations or weirdness. It was me able to go, yeah, man, I deserve that. Because I said, why are you saying this? I don't know you like that, and I'm very fucking traumatized right now. Really don't need anybody coming in my life right now. I really need to be a good boy, and I need to focus on me. And guess what? She was focused on me, not on what I was thinking. She was focusing on me, the person who was feeling unsafe emotionally. Okay, after this, can I? That's it. Okay, I'm going to go in the bathroom. Thanks. I'm serious. I'll be here, buddy.
Oh, thank goodness you're not using the webcam tonight, huh?
Well,
or the phone cam, actually.
I said raw. So I and the reason why I can openly say this is because when I was able to realize and understand what component she was coming from, when I was understanding the component that she was coming from, my whole perspective changed, and I was able to let go of the eccentric playboy that's really trying to, just wow and getting everywhere and the right words. And, woo, yeah, and I can do anything. And then I was able to embrace my introvert who was feeling unsafe and upset that we've pretty much been doing things we didn't want to do, and receive the word I love you. Well, how ridiculous is it for us to have a word that you can't say because you got to get to month number 4 before you can hear the word I love you. Say it. Hey, we macho women too. Everybody's macho as hell trying to, show face. Like, come on, it's a word. The word fuck. Okay. Some people, it's a carnal sin to say it. It's a word. What do you want to? Do you want to give it that much power, or do you want to, and you'll learn a lot of that gets learned in, commitment, acceptance commitment therapy. But you can take anything and make it just like in the movie Waterboy, make it like a little puppy dog and so cuddly. And there you go. Now the word don't have anything, but you gotta say it, repeat it, scream it, make fun of it, and then boom, it has no. So yeah, man, I love you. I love you, Archie. I love you, Zoe. I love you. Who was the person that
We had Susan earlier.
Susan earlier? I love you. That's
Yeah.
real. I don't even know you, but I can feel your energy. You know, and that's for me. That's everything because that means I saw right through you, right into your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no qualms with saying I love you. There's no macho in it. There is nothing but love because I'm held right now by a person who loved me and saw through me right into my heart so I can take care of my son.
Yeah.
So I can thrive, so I can love on me, so I can feel safe. And yes, I do like my space. And I do, you know, I do like being alone. And yes, I've been in nothing but relationship and being the protector and being everything. But I always wanted that myself. And I always said, who's going to protect the protector? And here comes another soul that's, you know, been hurt herself, but decide, you know what? The who I am at the core is not that person that got hurt. Who I'm at the core is a heart to help.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Claire, say it.
By the
Tell
way,
'em.
Ken, let's try to backtrack a little bit here for those people out there that are viewing this video as we speak, and they're probably wondering who I'm talking to. Enlighten them about our history for the next few minutes before we go off air.
Oh man, our history. John Eric. Yeah, John Eric. J.E. That's who I know. Jonnyroobs. Hey, that's a moniker. Like I'm Bougie Billionaire. I'm the Mad Content Creator. I'm Magnum. I'm all that, but I'm Kendrick Jackson. But yeah, we met. I mean, it was really funny because I was in the Navy, and you know that's when my boy Ray Dolette. Shout out to Ray, wherever you at in the world, bro. Mad love. I always think about you. It was a Bible study that started with Mike and Mel, and you know it led to us, the military guys, to meeting a whole church at the first Filipino Baptist Church in Virginia Beach. Hampton Roads, throw it up, 757.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then here comes my boy John Eric, man, just meek, humble,
Quiet dude.
Just whatever is clever. And I never met somebody that was so, just so like humble. Like you a humble dude, man.
Yeah, he was just straight up chill.
Humble. Yeah, you are the definition of chill, and I gravitate to people like that. And and sadly, and this is not anything, this is probably the first time hearing my thoughts on that, experience at First Female Dog Church. I didn't feel as accepted as I thought I should have been because it was a very cliquish environment.
Mm-hmm.
But we bonded. Romer, just all the people that didn't quite feel part of the clique. But because I'm a universal energy, I didn't really pay too much attention about the clique stuff. I was just happy to be around Mike and Mel because they just really good. They really good energy, man. I love their dog. Mel is just bubbles. Mike just coolest, suavest dude you've ever met in your life. And then there's the host of, everybody in that clique. And I've been around the Filipino culture since high school. My first girlfriend was Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I love the Filipino culture and everything about it, so it trumps the cliqueness because at the end of the day, yes, these are people you grow up with. These are people you feel comfortable with. But yeah, I felt like a misfit and outsider, but I'm a misfit and outsider even now. So it hasn't really been any different anyway. So, but through that, we still, and I can't even believe it because you started blogs and you've done so many artistic moves, and I was always inspired by you. I was like, dang, that's me, but man, how do I do that?
Yeah.
And I was always inspired by you. I always thought, man, I used to really like out there with blogs and stuff. You got a podcast, blog. I'm like, man, this dude is the truth. And we kept in touch before there was social media, and that's hard. Different phone numbers too. I don't even know how we stayed in touch so long, to be honest with you. But love, Archie, just like you said, you know, love is what kept us. You know, we had a bond, and you probably don't know this, but you are my literal longest standing and best friend.
And the streak continues.
And the streak continues. And we got a whole world to love on. So watch out for us.
Yeah,
that's how we met.
Our friendship has definitely lasted very long. By the way, my light just went out right behind me. My background light just went out. So it was super spectacular in the beginning. Now the whole spotlight right on my face, no longer behind me. But yeah, I wish you could have seen that, and you probably will during the playback, since you're not with me on webcam right now, or phone cam actually, or iPad cam.
The good thing, like I said, when we text each other, I said we stars, man. We just gotta keep migrating to the shine, which is, you know, being consistent with who. I mean, I don't know how else to be but me, but I was never being me because I was PCing my life.
Yeah.
You know, and every time I'd go through a very traumatic experience, you know, I'd shelve it and that's it. I was never able to be me completely because I felt it's not enough room to cry, and I'm not sure how to really engage those emotions, and I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to open up a box. I'm not ready for it. So, but yeah, it's right now the perfect time, and I'm just like, hey, I'm me, and this is who I am. I don't know how else to be. I curse, I do this, but I also love really hard, and I really care for people, and I have a heart to help. So, yeah.
Yeah. Man, wow, what a talk we've had. 1 hour and almost 17 minutes now. Thank you very much, Ken, for hanging in there. And, you know, there's just so much going on your plate, even a kid to take care of over there with you. Man, I just got to hand it to you once again.
Well, you know what? Actually, you know what? I'm going to be real with you.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me the shout out, but shout out to my son. You know, he's here. And there was times where you couldn't have a conversation and he would not let you have one.
Oh, really?
It's too loud? Oh, okay. Can you put these on? But I'm giving you shout outs. So I'm saying thank you. This bump. This bump. This bump. La, 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 la. You know, shout out to him for being patient. It's taken a lot of work for him. I know it's hard for him because he's like, there's too many things in the world to do. There's too many details. What are you doing on the phone, man? You better be doing this and that. And he come about FOMO, he has it. And it's real. But shout out to him for really, you know, giving Dad a chance to you know, just talk it out. And I had a lot of anxiety today on good things. You know, he's been, you know, very instrumental at, you know, understanding me and me understand. Because once you understand, here, going back to that thing, once you understand a person is going to roll out a carpet for you, even your own kid. So, yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Over there. Yeah, appreciate that, bro. I got the new Black Panther, the sister that's now the new Black Panther. It's a big size, you know. So I'm bringing that to kids, you know. So shout out to Marvel, shout out to Disney, shout out to people that are hiding the kid inside. That kid wants to play.
How did you know I hid it there?
Because I'm very perceptive. So yeah, man.
All right. So
thanks
guys,
for being on Facebook talking.
Yeah, guys who've been watching on Facebook Live, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for also providing us comments and questions that you wanted to ask or say in real time. Appreciate you guys. Even Riza for telling me how to turn off the TV. I just replied back, do it with the remote.
Shout out to Reed.
Yeah. So
shout out to Reed's gang. Yeah. Reed's gang. Gang, gang, gang.
Yeah. So looks like I'll see you on the next podcast, Ken, when we're going to have a guest on. And I'm glad to, get this thing going here with this Facebook Live, another successful Facebook Live.
Yeah, from the west to the Midwest. Holla at your boy. We out.
Yep.
Peace. No hair grease.
Yeah.
And to Claire.
Yeah. Peace.
All right, guys. Thank you, Facebook Live.
Thanks for checking out this episode of 2400 Block Podcast. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.